All right, guys, I'm back with another video. It's your girl, Tiffany DeBerry, social media marketer and online success coach. And in this video, I'm going to be just talking to you all about basically starting your business online and how to become successful. So for those of you who do not know, I used to be a social worker. I used to work for the state 2 years ago, and I was tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I was tired of going to work every single day to work for somebody else, building someone else's organization, empire, not being able to spend enough time with my kids, not being able to go to certain field trips, and just tired of someone else being in control of my time. So I got to a point in my life where I said, you know what, enough is enough. I am no longer going to be working for anyone else. But I had to come up with a plan. I had to come up with a strategy so that I can actually leave my 9-to-5 job and be my own boss. And that's when I started online marketing. So I invested into coachings, I invested into trainings, and I realized that I wasn't branding myself, right? I was branding other successful people over and over and over again. And that's fine, but don't forget to brand yourself. It's okay to uplift your mentor. It's okay to uplift, someone that you admire that's very successful online. But as you get caught up in that, you forget to brand yourself. You forget that people relate to you, not to everybody that you're posting about, okay? And that was one of the mistakes that I did. And I didn't know how to brand myself. So I started branding myself. I started sharing who I was as an individual. And I started investing into coachings and trainings. And next thing you know, I went from $100 a day to $1,000 days to $2,000 days. I even had a $5,000 day all online. So as I started to do that, I started to be more consistent in my posting, more aware of what I was posting so far as content. Because when it comes to online marketing and branding yourself, you don't decide if your content is good. Your audience decides if your content is good. So you create your content based off of your life experiences. And that's what I started to do. All right, and people started to relate to me. I started to get more exposure, and I started to get more of my targeted audience, which is what I wanted. Because when I first started online marketing, guys, I didn't have the right audience. And if you don't have the right audience, then it's almost trying to sell steak to a vegetarian. They won't be interested. Okay, so you have to make sure that your audience is within your niche, within your industry. They're interested in what it is that you have to say, and you have to make sure that your content aligns with your audience. Okay, something that they want to hear, something that's going to inspire them, and something that's going to help them in their own industry. So whether you're online to start a new business or whether you're online to scale your business, I always tell my students, inconsistency will bring inconsistent results. Let me say that again. Inconsistency will bring inconsistent results. So if you are not consistent on social media, then you're not going to get consistent results. Okay, every successful entrepreneur will let you know that you have to be consistent in anything that you do. You have to be consistent in learning new information. You have to be consistent in implementing the information that you have learned from those coachings or those trainings. So as I started to invest in different online coaching, online trainings, I realized that I had to implement what I was learning. And when I implemented that, that's when I started to get results. And now I've been able to teach and coach other entrepreneurs on social media to make $10,000 months, to make $5,000 months, right? Maybe their goal is $3,000, but you have to have a realistic goal. You can't say you want to make $10,000 a week and you haven't made $5,000 a week yet. You have to have a plan with your goal. And that is another thing that I was lacking, right? I had a goal, but I didn't have a plan. It's okay to keep the goal, but you may have to change that plan. And that's what I had to do. I had to look at my audience and I had to say, what is it that my audience is lacking? What is it that my audience need? And then once you figure out what the need is within your industry, then you have to be the one to provide the solution. So for example, if you are in the credit industry, what is the problem within that industry? They need a higher credit score. right? They probably have late payments. They probably have collections on their report. How are you going to provide the solution? What value can you put on your social media channels that is going to bring interest to your audience, that is going to bring curiosity to your audience? So that is another thing that you need to write down. What is each problem of my audience within my industry? Then next to that, you need to write down, how am I going to provide the solution and how am I going to reach that audience? So, for example, I'm an online marketer, I'm a success coach. I always look at my audience and I say, okay, my targeted audience is entrepreneurs. So what is entrepreneurs' problems? The problems are they need more exposure on social media. The problems are they don't know how to get exposure. They don't know how to get targeted leads. They don't know how to get in front of their audience. They don't know how to get sales, right? So me as an online success coach, and since my industry is online marketing as a social media marketer, I determine how am I going to provide the solution to each of those problems within my industry. So that is the exact same thing that you need to start off doing within your industry. Who is your audience? Because you have to know who your targeted audience is, what is their problem, and how are you going to provide a solution, and how are you going to be able to get in front of your audience to let them know that you are the one that they need to be reaching out to. So as I started to do that and do that more consistently, right, I started to get results in my business, which led me to over $100,000 in a year all online. I was able to start my own social media marketing agency, and then I started doing my own trainings, coaching other people, getting them results, and my brand just grew. And it's growing and it's growing and it's growing even more. But you can do the exact same thing. Social media is such a huge opportunity for everyone, right? There are millionaires who became a millionaire because of social media. We no longer have to have it the hard way where we knock on people's door. You have the platform of people looking for your product or your service. You have to figure out the strategies to get in front of those people, right? But like I said, if you are not consistent, you will not get consistent results. So I made $100,000 a year. I left my 9-to-5 job and I've been going ever since, right? Remember, any successful entrepreneur is constantly learning new information, because the power of information will allow you to be better in your business, get more exposure, because you will have learned that skill set. And skill sets equal profits. The more skill sets you learn, the more people you are able to help. So don't try to be like anybody else on social media. Be like you. You are the brand, not the product or the service. People will connect with you first, then they will want to know, what is it that you do? Right? How can you help them? So you have to create value. You have to create important, good content and reach your audience. And then you will start to become successful right before your eyes on social media. But you have to trust the process. Okay, you have to trust the process. It takes time, right? I didn't make $100,000 or 5K days or 2K days overnight. No, I had to constantly study. I had to constantly implement the skills that I was learning. Until this day, I still do the exact same thing. So I'm no different than you. You have to get out here. You have to open your mouth. You have to tell people that you exist. You have to show up and show out online. And then, my friends, you will become successful. So this is just some of the tips that I did to start becoming successful online. And you could do the exact same thing. So let me know how you like this video. If you have any questions, comment below, and I'll see you all on my next video.